What's up, guys? My name is Ashnichrist, and welcome to the first episode of Stream Coach TV. Oh my god, I can't believe it. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. It is my mission to uncover the most Craigasm and PogChamp worthy moments of your favorite partners here on Twitch. Every week I'm going to be interviewing a successful and inspiring streamer to really help us learn what makes them successful. This series is really for 3 different audiences. Not 6. 3. Just 3. And those audiences are the streamers' fans, to try and get to know their favorite streamer a little bit better. It's also for aspiring streamers, so if you have questions about streaming on Twitch, or if you feel alone and you need somebody else to just listen to from time to time. It's also for the streamer themselves, because I know whenever I was streaming full-time, getting to talk about my channel was so liberating and it felt so good and released a lot of pressure. So I feel like this is going to help a lot of people.
Well, that idea is stupid and you should just not do it.
I'm gonna do it anyways. This week on the show, I am super excited to hang out with Pohx. Pohx is an old friend of mine. He is a full-time streamer with over 40,000 followers and even more on YouTube. He's an extreme advocate of using YouTube and other ways to grow your community. He creates amazing in-depth guides for people that play MMORPGs, as well as he's very trolly and hilarious. Welcome everybody to episode number 1 of Stream Coach TV. My name is Ashnichrist, and it is my mission to uncover the most Craigasm and PogChamp worthy moments of your favorite partners on Twitch TV. Every week I'm going to be interviewing an inspiring streamer so that you guys can get to know them and really learn what makes them successful. Hopefully. We'll see what happens on Pohx.
Nice.
So this channel is, or this show I guess, is really for 3 different audiences. It is for Pohx's fans, first off, to kind of get to know him better, a little bit more behind the scenes instead of while he is streaming. It's also for aspiring streamers, so if you guys need more information or more tips, tricks, and interesting things to think about to apply to your own channel. It's also for Pohx. I know whenever I was streaming full-time that it is so liberating to be able to talk about your channel and to just kind of release some of the ideas or the things that you've had on your mind about streaming in general. So hopefully we will make sure that everyone gets a little bit of what they need today. So, Pohx, what's up, man?
Not too much. You know, I woke up for the first thing today, I guess, like, for this event, which I haven't woken up for anything except for, like, PAX South. So I would say pretty excited today to do something fun. I do want to state as well, it's always cool talking with, like, a different audience as well, because, you know, my audience in Twitch has known me for some of them almost 4.5, 5 years. So they know me very well. So I think it's always cool speaking about, I guess, my position on Twitch to people I've never spoken to before. Well, I mean, you obviously, but, you know, a different audience and whatnot. So I think it's pretty neat.
And you've been around for a while, right? How long have you been on Twitch?
Almost 5 years.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
Yeah, almost every day. I did take, actually, funny story, like a short intermission. I think my first 6 months of streaming, I was graduating high school, and I was like, I'm quitting gaming, I'm throwing all this out, I'm going to make a career out of my, like, I'm not going to do this at all. And I, like, cold turkey quit everything. And then I came back, and I've pretty much done almost every single day since then.
Wow. That's really impressive that you believed in it so much that you really wanted to throw, like, everything that you had into it. I couldn't imagine.
No, I quit everything, including streaming. Like, I quit.
Oh.
And then I came back, and I was like, you know what? Screw having jobs. I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to. It's so silly sometimes, depending on where you work. And I'm like, I want to be my own boss. I want to get this figured out. But more importantly, I want to enjoy my life. I want to have fun.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to, you know, sit there every month, you know, living off my paycheck and, like, just hating it. I want to make maybe less money, but be super happy in an environment that I honestly can wake up and enjoy every single day.
That's so cool. And that actually is a great segue into my first question, which was, how did you find Twitch? What inspired you to start streaming? Like, give me the details on your very first beginnings.
Okay, so this is going to sound kind of silly, all right? But so I first started streaming about 4.5 years ago in a game called an MMO called Terra, which was one of the new big release true action combat games. Um, and our guild was number one in all of North American progression. So there was like no one that was even close to us. The problem is there was a raid boss that was so hard to kill that we were like our group was the only one on the server that could kill it. And I ended up quitting my job and then building a PC to stream full time to show players how to do the fight. And it ended up completely backfiring because, when you're on the internet, people will point a finger like, oh, all you're doing is showing off. You just want to show how good you are. And it's like, no, what are you talking about? Like, I'm just here to help you guys get better and whatnot. And then I learned what trolls were and whatnot. And but it was still pretty good. But that's pretty much the actual start was from Terra.
So I feel like the basis around your channel is just to help people and to inform them. Like, I've noticed your channel comparatively to other streamers, it goes extremely in depth with like build guides and just how to be a better player in general. You seem to take gaming extremely seriously. Do you feel like this is something that, like, do you want to promote this idea of like you can be extremely in depth with everything, or do you also have the side of just casual?
I mean, so it really depends on where you come from, because like I consider myself casual. I don't know if I fit the definition properly, but I consider myself casual because even though I do take things very seriously, I'm very open-minded towards everything. So I don't actually ever get frustrated towards anything. It's my passion. And, when you actively seek out your passion, naturally you're going to put so much time into it compared to other things. But yeah, I mean, overall, I really do like teaching people and helping players because I think I don't know, I think it's kind of silly seeing as there's obviously multiple different types of streamers. There's some that do it for money, which there's nothing wrong for. There's some that just want to have fun and entertain like myself. And if you're really looking for like information, you don't want to pay for anything, you truly just want help in a game, you can just come to my stream and it's no problem.
That's so interesting. Can you actually give me your worst streaming moment? Like, what's the one thing that you're like, oh God, why did I do that?
Okay, I have a couple.
Oh, nice.
So, all right. So one of them, this was back when it was like kind of legal. I used to sleep. I used to basically have my stream on 24 hours permanently, right? Like it was on until Twitch warned me, like, you can't do that. So it was on for 72 hours straight. And this was when I was playing Terra. I would basically log into an account, which was my healer, right? I would heal for the raid, and I'd go to sleep for 40 minutes, and I'd wake up, go on someone else's account, heal the fight, log off, switch accounts, and I would just keep my stream on, and everybody would see me wake up. Like, they would have, like, this little countdown timer, and they would just be like, wake up, and they would spam, like, an emote, and you would just see me get out of bed and just wake up and immediately go and raid. And that was definitely something I look back on, just kind of, like, laugh about, but, like, I would, I don't know, maybe I would do it now, but that's one of them. Kind of like an embarrassing moment, I guess.
What was the second one?
Second one would be when I leaked porn on my stream. That was
no.
That was a lot of fun. I've actually probably shown porn like 10, 15 times. It's just I'm really, really nonchalant about it and close it out so fast people don't notice. But this one time, it was just a really, really awkward scenario. It was like as a male, all right, I don't know how women do this stuff, but sometimes, when you've been watching stuff for, adult stuff for a while, one video isn't enough for you anymore. So you'll have, 10, 15 different tabs. And what happened was like the internet went out one day. So like all my tabs got like messed up and I couldn't refresh them. So I took all the links and I posted them in a Word document to, have fun with some other time. And in a lot of my build guides for Path of Exile, I do my build guides in like WordPad because I'm super simple. I'm like, well, here's what you need. And I pulled up the wrong WordPad, and people immediately screenshotted it and posted it directly to like live stream fails, and it went on the Reddit. And then that was pretty fun. But I mean, honestly, I look back at these, I'm not like super mad about them. I just look back and laugh. Like I even commented on the post, and I'm like, here's who I think was the best one. And just gotta have fun with it. So
yeah, that's actually funny. I had a situation where one of my viewers bought me a manga, but it was like an extremely questionable one. And I showed it to everyone on the channel because I was so excited about it, and I got banned.
Oh no.
It was horrible. Oh my gosh. But actually, going back to your first situation, which was where you talked about leaving your channel on all the time, do you feel like this new transition towards IRL streaming that Twitch is trying to do? This is like we're taking a really serious dive right here. I know we just had some lighthearted fun, but do you feel like this IRL transition that Twitch is trying to do is problematic? Like, for instance, there was this situation with the streamer that was doing a charity stream for 24 hours and, you know, sadly passed away. And like, what? How do you feel about this? Like the transition to trying to be on all the time.
So I definitely think that this comes with a scare because a lot of people don't realize that Twitch is very mentally taxing. Whether you're doing it for fun or for work, it's still kind of like a job. If you're putting in, you know, a large amount of time into it, it's going to require time back from you. I think a lot of people don't really realize that this can be a job depending on how you treat it. And by doing so, most people don't work 24 hours straight at a job, you know, even if you're in the luxury of your own home. So I think that it's a good way to push for. I think that a lot of content creators are scared to kind of basically do what we're doing right now, but on their own channel. And streaming on IRL kind of separates that. It's like, hey guys, this is non-gaming related content right now. Or you know, you could throw in some gaming content if you want. I'm gonna, you know, take a step and do something else. However, people are definitely taking it a bit too extreme. And I think that's not very good. Like, there's a lot of people who just do like IRL stuff and they just fuck around, like kind of like on YouTube, how people do like prank videos. They do that live on Twitch, and like they actually get threatened by like actual, you know, pedestrians. And it's like, dude, I don't know if you really want to do that. That's kind of, you know, leave that stuff for pre-recorded YouTube. A lot of people fake it and whatnot. So I can definitely see a very fine line there.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely feel like there's this need and this habit that is kind of being formed by the culture right now, which is where people feel like they need to be on all the time. And while it is true, like whenever you first are trying to build a channel, I think as much as you can possibly be on, this is the quickest way to grow. And so if you're streaming, you know, 8 to 14 hours a day, which is extremely common for people that want to make this into a career initially, it can also be really dangerous. And a lot of people, after they get used to the fact that they're streaming for so long, don't realize, well, I should be listening to my body still. So obviously that's something that we want everyone to keep in mind, is just stay safe. I mean, try to stay healthy and take care of yourself while also delivering quality content within the realm of what you are able to accomplish. So that being said, while we know that it is really important to be on all the time, aside from just being there, what is something about Twitch that you've learned is necessary for success?
So I would definitely say, and I think this is really like overshadowed, is building your community on more than one platform. So as a person like myself who is a variety streamer, I think it's extremely important to have a YouTube channel. Even if you don't edit anything, I'm a prime example of this. You just make a video, you know, speak about what you want, put it on YouTube. From that video, if you think it's quality content, post it on the Reddit for a game. Also post it in the forum directory. If you're playing a specific class, go on the official forums, look at the class guide, build up a Discord channel, have community scheduled events. I think really getting to know your community and interacting with them and showing them that you're the exact same as them, you just want to play a lot of video games. That's really it. I think that really brings people together.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely agree with like creating a community based around your activity within the channel is extremely important. So within that same realm, like what is a unique lesson that you feel like you've learned from Twitch that you may not have otherwise?
This is an expression. I don't know the full expression, but I'm going to say a shorter version is you can't please everybody. And Twitch is a direct example of that, because you are speaking to people all around the globe, and everybody is brought up in a different culture and a different nature or nurture. And not everybody's going to agree with you. You could be the nicest person in the world. Somebody is going to disagree with you somewhere, and you need to understand that you cannot appeal to everybody. There is a time when you have to say no on Twitch. You know, if you try to be nice to every troll that comes in, you automatically now have the people, the loyal viewers who have been watching you, and then you have the trolls you're trying to stay cool with. But then your viewers are like, why are you giving them so much attention compared to me? Like, does that make sense? And you really have to understand that, because this is the thing, it takes 1 second for you to get annoyed basically by reading a comment of saying you suck, for example, right? You just did the most epic feat you've ever done and someone says you suck. And most people would read you suck before, the 2 sentence that your subscriber just posted and said, hey man, I just want to say congratulations, I really liked your channel. Because it's the minority that you don't notice that are really caring for you, and it's really easily to just read something that you don't like, and then it gets stuck in your head basically. So you have to remember that it's okay to say no. It's okay to realize, like, okay, not everybody's going to agree with me, not everybody sees this, but put a smile on your face and just move on.
I definitely feel like that's a huge lesson. I know whenever I first started streaming, trolls would come in and I was just so upset, but then I kind of tried to turn it against them and troll them back, and that turned the channel into, I mean, it was questionable content for sure. Like, it wasn't the nicest place, it wasn't inclusive, it was basically about being as abrasive as possible. And I feel like that is a common trait that some of the top streamers do share. Like, they feel, especially with guys, there's kind of a different standard with women on the channel, I feel, but with men, I feel like they kind of gear a lot towards this like trolly type of behavior. Do you feel like this is detrimental to the culture?
So it goes 2 ways. Definitely for the culture, I see it not being as good, just because it creates a really weird vibe sometimes. So, like, you look at it from 2 points of view, and I totally agree with basically, if a woman is trolling, it can get explosive, like, super quickly. As a male, if you troll, it's kind of expected, sometimes. However, what I was going to say is, like, when you're streaming, if you have, like, this alternate side you're showing, even if it's just, like, a trolling side, you have, like, a 50-50 chance where basically a new viewer enters your channel and either sees you for the person you're being now as a nice person, or sees you for the troll. And depending on who they see, they may or may not watch your channel anymore after like 2 seconds of watching. But in terms of affecting the community, I would definitely say it does. A lot of the people who watch Twitch are very young. Some are like 12, 13 years old. Some are even younger. People are getting to esports at such a young age, and they are very, very heavily influenced by Twitch streamers. And whether or not I agree to that or not, because it's kind of sucks, because you don't really sign up to be in that position when you just want to stream. It's kind of odd. But I would definitely say overall, if the streamer takes it too far, it has a negative impact on the community, because his channel, like his views and his viewers, are going to go to other channels, and they're going to take exactly what they learned and start doing it in other channels. And then they'll throw a fit when they get timed out, for example, because they're not used to the same exact thing that's going on.
That's a perfect explanation. I actually feel 100% the same way. So I'm glad we were on the same page with that. Thinking about all the new streamers and the kids that are coming into this culture, if somebody wants to aspire to be a partnered streamer, what's one piece of advice that you would give them? I
would have to go back to what I was saying before and say, like, build a community. And that goes again with essentially branching out to the games that you're playing. Don't just stream 12 hours a day. Maybe stream 8 hours a day, spend 20 minutes a day making a YouTube video, or 30 minutes, spend another 30 minutes, browsing the Reddit for the game you're playing, post some comments on Reddit, give some feedback, talk to the game developers or the publishers. You don't necessarily have to try to get free things, but just make them aware, like, hey man, by the way, I just want you to know, I'm about to start streaming on Twitch. I really like your video game. I've been playing it for 6 months or so. I'd love to see after my, hopefully I gain some channel growth, maybe we can set up an interview or an event or schedule something. And a lot of the time they'll say yes, because people don't often like spread themselves out. Like myself, as an example, I'm near like 14, 15 million combined views, and like 70, 80K combined like followers essentially between YouTube and Twitch. And I don't ever talk to anybody, but the second I do talk to them, they're immediately like, yes, man, I'll totally do that. And I know easily, like I've seen people who are partnered with like 3 or 4 thousand followers and have, you know, full on contracts with gaming like companies and accessory or like hardware all over the place. It's really just being confident and being like a nice and understanding person, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there's a lot that goes into streaming behind the scenes that people don't realize. How much time would you say you spend on that side of things every
The,
day?
the behind the
Behind the
scenes, so
scenes, yeah.
it depends. I have like months basically. So like I'll like turn a switch and I'll be like, all right, for this month we're doing super heavy community oriented stuff, and I'll put off a lot of my real life stuff. And then for like 2 weeks, I can't really do much within the community. I'll still create YouTube content, but I'll have to get a lot of personal life stuff done. But when I would stream like pretty hard, I would stream like 10 hours a day every day, and probably be on my Discord 6 to 8 hours a day.
Oh my gosh.
And that's because we would it's just like I'm streaming all over again, but with no webcam. You know, viewers come in the channel, we talk about, you know, the new games we're going to play. We play games together as well. You know, we joke around, we meme and stuff. And yeah, it was a lot of fun, because that's, even having fun is still building up your community. So that's the really cool thing. But definitely behind the scenes, super required to build your channel.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people don't realize how much work goes into just creating a stream. Actually, streaming, I would say, is probably the easiest part about being a streamer. It's all the stuff behind the scenes that is just so crazy important.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of important, we just saw each other at PAX South, and that was really awesome. We had a great time at the Twitch party.
We were both drunk.
Yeah.
That's how we ran into each
Open
other.
bar, man. Open bar. Like,
Yeah.
Twitch, I love you. Seriously, I'm bowing to you right now. So, how important is it, in your opinion, for streamers to be attending these gaming conventions? Because I know that there is a huge disparity between people that think you need to go to all of them and network, and the people that think don't go to any because you're going to lose your subs. Is there a happy balance? What is the happy balance? How do you find it?
Okay, so PAX South was the first convention-oriented thing I've ever went to, ever. And I will state that there's a huge like mental aspect to this. So basically, when you sit at home and you stream and you do your stuff, whether your stream is successful or not, you're just basically playing video games. You know, you're happy, all this is going. But the second you actually leave and enter a realm, I'm gonna say, where everybody around you knows what you do, and it's literally just all a bunch of streamers and gamers combined, it's like a whole new experience that I personally never experienced. And it gave me like this insane mental fortitude to basically just be excited. I was like, wow, it's like day one streaming again. Now, this is like cutting networking aside. Then when you actually get into there, you can network with anybody you want. It doesn't even matter the size of your stream. There are so many indie games, like indie companies, that will gladly give you a beta key, even if you have, say, 200 followers, right? Because what does it cost for them to give you a beta key? And then you just put it on your channel and talk about it, and they'll even pop into your channel and say hello to you and whatnot, which I think is also really cool. As for being scared of losing your subscribers, I mean, I lost maybe like 20 subscribers over the 3 days that I was gone, but guess what? I mean, I got to put live footage of me getting a conga line behind my Twitch, like my booth at PAX South. And my stream loved it, and that easily got like the 20 subs back, because when people can see you interacting like in person, in real life, they're like, wow, like he's not fake. Like, this is actually the person that he is. Like, it's not like I'm being lied to this whole time. And I think that's really important to like get that bond with your viewers.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with that too is that it creates such a great type of content for your channel. It shows people that not only, yes, I'm streaming all the time and I work my butt off for this, but also I'm involved in the community in real life. I feel like there's such a difference between being online, being in real life. Like, I'm sure you've noticed, you've met some people probably and just been like, wow, I was not expecting you to be this way at all. So that's really interesting. And you mentioned mental health and mental fortitude as well. So there is this huge dialogue going on right now within the community about mental health and streaming as a way to deal with anxiety or depression or any other kind of mental illness. And I know that this is kind of a random question, but how do you feel about that kind of situation? Do you feel like you are kind of using this as a way to create a community and to meet more people, or are you using this as a way to like hide from the real world? Like, what are you?
All right, so I have like multiple answers for this.
Oh,
So when I
cool.
first started streaming, and I was back living with my mom and dad, I used gaming as an outlet to basically escape, right? A lot of us have done that. I ended up taking it to the next step, and it wasn't my intention for it to become that, but it's just when I started streaming Terra, I realized like, wow, I'm having a lot of fun with this, and I'm not realizing, the bad times in my life that I don't even need to remember. And that was really cool, and I got to share my experiences with people all around the world. Now I notice myself, I'm not, depressed or anything, but I notice that if something is on my mind, I can just turn on my stream and openly talk about it. And nobody in my real life is going to argue with me about it because, first off, most people like that I actually know personally aren't going to watch my stream all day long, 24/7. So I can talk about topics like this. And I think that's also important for my community because I'm not just a Twitch streamer. I'm also here to basically what we're doing right now, I would do on my channel. And I would not mind it whatsoever because I'm a very open person. And I want to help people that went through something similar to what I had to go through. Like if you are depressed, you can talk to me about it on my channel. It's okay. I'll talk to you about it back. But I definitely would say that there are some negative aspects of it because I'll notice myself procrastinating in real life. And I'll notice this is something I did when I was younger. If I didn't complete a homework assignment and I was in like middle school, I would intentionally stay up all night and I would play Dota, right? Yep, I would play Dota, and I told myself I would play one Dota game. Yep, I would play one Dota game, and I would do a little bit of my homework. If I lost, I had to do homework for like 10, 15 minutes straight, so I never lost, right? And then I remember I created the silliest things. I remember I'd play like Juggernaut top and Max Healing Ward with a bottle. I'm like, yeah, I can never lose my lane. I will permanently sustain. And this is like 10 years ago. And I noticed like some of the same characteristics even pour into me now, literally 10 years later. I'll put something off and be like, well, I don't really need to go shopping to get food. I could just, drink a lot of water and stream for 15 hours and make, have a lot of fun, make some money. And it's like my time isn't being wasted. Does that make sense?
Right.
I feel like if I'm working and I'm making money, my time isn't being wasted. But that's not always true because, you may be working extra now, but you're going to still have to get the other stuff done in your real life.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel like streaming applies to your future? Like, where are you going with this?
Twitch staff members asked me the same question when I was over there because did you know most people that stream don't stream for more than 2 years and they stop? And they either go into like shoutcasting, work for Twitch, branch off and work with a gaming company. I personally have no clue what's in my future. I don't know what's going to happen 5 minutes from now. I just take every day, minute by minute, and I'm able to do that because I'm a happy single man at the age of 24, and I know that my actions don't affect too much of what happens around me. It's mainly just me. So I can kind of be a little bit, I guess, indecisive and whatnot. But honestly, I'd like to keep streaming. And if an opportunity opens and arises for me to work for another company and I get bored of streaming, or maybe I want to do it part-time and that's allowed, I would probably go ahead and take that. Just for like stability reasons, kind of.
Yeah, that is really interesting. So streaming for as long as you have, what is something that you've done that you feel like kind of contributes to that success?
A
personal habit.
A personal habit?
Yeah.
I really don't sleep. That's probably like one. I don't sleep. And it's not a bad thing. Like, it's not a health issue. I honestly could run on 5 hours of sleep for like 6-7 days and then just take one crash day and sleep for maybe like 9 hours and I'll be 100% fine. You would never notice. And by doing this, it allows me to really play a lot of video games. And when I say play a lot, I mean, I'm literally on my computer 24/7. Like if, I don't even answer my phone. Like my phone is never on. So people message me on my, on PC, Discord, Skype, etc. And the reason why this goes hand in hand with my channel is people come to me for information. That's what people come to me for. A new game drops. People expect for me to be Korean, be max level, hit end game content, know what the best class is, the best rotations, like 15 minutes in. So I'm like, all right, guys, I can't do it in 15 minutes. Give me like 2 days. I just won't sleep. I'll get you your content. And that's really hard to find for a lot of players. So I think that is definitely goes directly hand in hand.
Yeah, absolutely. I also feel like you're obviously making a lot of sacrifices for your channel, especially as far as your time. Do you feel like that's true? Like how many sacrifices and what type would you say that is common for being a streamer?
My biggest sacrifice is probably just my social life. That's the
Mm-hmm.
main thing. And the reason why I say that is I don't stream on a schedule because I feel that there's two ways to look at it, right? You can look at it as a job, you can look at it as fun.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's fun doesn't mean it isn't your job. It's just I never once when I was a kid told myself like I'm gonna play, my PlayStation from the hours of 2 to 6 and then I'm not gonna play it anymore. I was just like, well, my homework's done. I want to play video games, so I'm gonna play video games. So for me, it's just whenever I want to play a video game, I just turn on my stream, and play it. Now the problem with that is when in our mid 20s here, most of us, at least from my friends, are not really good at planning things ahead. So they'll be like, "Hey man, Pohx, you want to come over? We're having a really cool party. I'm bringing some chicks over. We're gonna get wasted." I'm like, "Nah, man, I can't. I'm working." And they'll be like, "Oh, well, okay, maybe next time." And then next time rolls around, and they still don't give me a date. They don't give me a time ahead, and they call me. And I work probably 1/3 of the day of every single day. So there's a 33% chance that if you call me, I'm gonna be working. And it kind of just honestly, I lose a lot of friends because of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of sucks. And I definitely could do more to kind of like to work with it. But I mean, that's one of the cons of it. I guess you could say it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, whenever I was streaming, the same thing happened. I had a couple of female roommates that I was extremely close with, and we'd been friends for years. And just being in that position of, I mean, I wasn't like you, I scheduled my streams, and so having to be there and not being able to go hang out with them just randomly whenever they would ask, they were not extremely happy about that at all. So I definitely think that there is a huge sacrifice as far as your social life for probably everyone, and it really sucks to not to I guess lose friends over it because some people don't understand. They don't get that they don't get that you're doing something that you're excited about and that you feel like could potentially be extremely lucrative and potentially turn into a career for you someday. Like, people don't get it. And that really sucks to be in that position. So I applaud you for handling that with grace, as it seems like you are, Mr. Graceful.
I don't know about with grace, so there's a reason why I'm single, but my stream has not been very, very good for the women, so I'm really good at speaking my mind, and they're really good at tuning into my stream when I'm speaking my mind, so.
I believe in you. So aside from someday getting a girlfriend, I guess, what are you excited about with your channel?
I'm staying single.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Go for it.
I guess excited for my channel just to see where it goes. I feel like every game that I play, if I spend like a large amount of time in it, is like a chapter in my life. So Path of Exile is like a huge chapter in my life. I've visited it on and off for like 3 years. Whenever a new MMO comes, I can look at this game and be like, oh my god, this could potentially be the game that like I play forever, right? Like I've always played MMOs my entire life. I have more time staring at a screen than talking with everyone in my family combined by 10. This has just been my life for everything. So I always wait for that moment that this new game comes out that I can just truly call home. And I'll stream it for 6 hours on my desktop, and then I'll get bored and take a break, and I'll just go to the living room and turn on the stream in the living room and play again for like another 6 hours. And that's honestly that's it. That's all I want to do. I'm pretty simple for right now until something else comes in, and we all change. Every year we change as people drastically. That's just the vision right now, really.
Yeah, that's awesome. So being around on Twitch for this long, who would you say is your favorite streamer?
So that's a funny one. I honestly don't watch anyone on Twitch. However, I have seen a couple clips, so I can gauge it off of that. I used to really look up to a guy called Ziggy D. I think is Ziggy D Live or Ziggy D StarCraft on YouTube. And another guy called Doc Got Game. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I look at them is because they stream completely different from me. Like, they have a schedule, they're very professional, or they step into a character. Ziggy, for example, is always very nice. Doc is super funny. like actually makes me laugh, and my sense of humor is terrible sometimes. So that was awesome. And I really admire how much work these people put into their streams, because I feel that a lot of the work that I put in is just, it's not really work for me anymore. It's just fun. You know, grinding in a game for 18 hours straight with no sleep is fun to me. To other people, they'd rather just like go work an actual job and say, screw Twitch. I'd rather just sit down and, you know, pen and paper for 18 hours and, you know, just smashing buttons. So to me personally, I can really admire that about other people, is how much time and effort they put into it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's extremely important, I think. So, on the monetization aspect of things, can you kind of give us a glimpse into like where all of your income streams are coming from? How are you doing on that front? Obviously, I don't want you to give any numbers if you're not comfortable with that, but...
Well, I can't by like basically
right.
Twitch partnership law. But yeah. My income looks like this, and it's very scary. So, you ever heard of the term an organized mess?
Yeah.
Okay, I have an organized, messy income. So my income looks like this. It starts here, and then it goes up and down, up and down, up and down. Most people, their income would be like, you know, a line that goes up, or maybe like a stalemate. Mine is like extreme. It's extreme because of the way I stream, basically. And I definitely have some bad months, but I definitely have some good months. So in terms of what I can speak of, I've made as little as lower than minimum wage some months, and as high as, and this one I can actually say out loud because it wasn't through Twitch, $13,000 in a month. And that was mainly through donations. But you can't really take the average of that, because if you take below minimum wage and 13K, there's like this huge like $10,000+ difference in the middle. But I don't mind it, because I'm a very frugal person. I cook 95% of my meals. I don't really like going outside. I mean, I don't mind going outside, but I don't like, to me, my hobby is gaming, and my games support my hobby. I get all my games for free. So I'm okay with my income, right? Like it's okay. Like I don't need to save up money, put it aside and say, I'm going to take a $3,000 vacation. I'm on a permanent vacation. Like it hasn't ended yet since I moved out. I've been on a vacation for almost 2.5 years, I think, or 1.5. I don't even remember. 2.5 years, yeah.
Is that how long you've been streaming full time? This 2.5 years?
No. I've been streaming full time. Well, what is the definition of full time? Full time as in just.
As in you don't have any other job. You don't have a part-time job.
4 years.
You're just 4 years.
Yeah, I've been living off my stream for 2.5 years.
Okay, so what did you do before you were living off of it for that 1.5 years?
I worked at a place called, I worked like 6 months there. I was in school full time, and I worked at a place called Galaxy Skateway in South Florida. It is a rollerblading company, and it was like a full-on family-run business, and I was the only person that was not in the family, and it was awful. It was so bad. I would basically go into work, and they'd put me on like shoe duty, which is basically like the kids come in, they give me their shoes, I replace it with the rollerblades, right? Except when you have, let's see, maximum capacity on a Friday night is 1,500 people. So you think if 1,500 people come in, which is a low end, right? Because for a whole day, that's nothing. Like that's just the maximum capacity. You'd have like 7,000 people come in over a night. 7,000 times 2 would be 14,000. So you have 14,000 shoes individually, and you have to sort where each one goes and replace it and pull it out. And then they would be like, yeah, we're all leaving early for a family dinner, so you can go close by yourself. And closing by yourself at a place like that, say the place closes at 12, you're not getting home till like 5 o'clock in the morning. It's just not going to happen. And yeah, I ended up quitting. They fired me and I quit at the same time. It was really sad. They put me on door duty, which is basically like you just sit there and greet people. And I can't do that. I can't just stand still. And I got to do something. I'm an active person. So I ended up falling asleep because nobody was there for like 2 seconds. And they called me in and I'm like, I quit. And they're like, you're fired. And I'm like, have a good one.
Yeah.
And then I built my PC and started streaming.
Yeah, I'm the same way actually. I've worked a ton of retail jobs, and until I got into management in those retail jobs, it's horrible having to stay in one space and do one job. It's like, ugh. I feel like that's something that draws a lot of people to streaming, is people that just generally hate doing something extremely repetitive. and have no control over how they are supposed to carry out that job, like are just naturally drawn towards creativity and being able to be their own boss and manage themselves. So it's extremely interesting. Now, whenever you think about your career over time and just everything that has gone into this, looking back, knowing what you know now, what do you feel like you could have done better?
So, I'm gonna quote someone on this. Are you familiar with anything in like the league championships and whatnot from back in the day?
No, absolutely
Okay.
not.
Do you know a person named Hotshot?
Nope.
Okay, so there was a very big streamer. He owns CLG now, from what I know.
Okay.
And his name was Hotshot. And I asked him this question 2.5 years ago. And he told me the same exact thing I'm going to tell you right now. He said, if there was one thing I could redo or like change, is I wish I jumped on social media quicker with Facebook and Twitter and etc. And I would kind of say the same exact thing. I personally, I'm not good at that stuff. Like I'm not. It's weird for me to be like, hey guys, look, I'm eating dinner. Take a look at my steak. I'm just the kind of guy who would just be like on stream, and I'm just like, do you think I can eat this steak in one bite? Let's find out. That would be me. So it's like I have to step into a character in my real life, which is just really weird for me. So I would definitely say jumping on social media quicker, learning how to edit, and number one is streaming has done something to me that's very bad, which I don't like admitting, but I'm totally cool with admitting my flaws. I'm an extremely lazy individual now because of streaming. It's just kind of caught up to me that I can kind of like do what I want and get away with it. Not saying like I'm mean to people or anything. It's just like my own personal bubble. You know, I can be like, well, I don't have to stream now. I could just not sleep and then stream 12 hours, and it's okay. And it's true. It is okay. But in reality, that's not good to just procrastinate like that and push everything aside. That's just, you shouldn't do that. So that's definitely something I'm trying to work on.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like having a manager for streamers would be pretty lucrative? I know some people do, like the extremely famous streamers have somebody that kind of manages them and books them and I guess looks into partnerships and sponsorships for them.
100%
But
I would do that.
yeah.
Yeah. The problem is like I don't have the income to pay for a manager. And it's just because that's kind of like the part that always sits in my head that is like, you could be doing so much more, right? Like instead of doing a marathon stream for 24 hours, in that one day, I could have streamed 6 hours, contacted 45 different companies for sponsorships, you know, emailed the current game that I'm playing, and probably could have realistically made like an extra $6,000 to $10,000 on sponsorships a month, which I don't even do whatsoever, because that's kind of like out of my field, I guess. And that's just another area where I lack. And that's kind of when I first jumped into streaming, I was 19 years old. I didn't know anything about business. Like I had no clue about any of this. I mean, I don't even have a college like degree or anything. I literally just play video games. So it's like I was kind of just like thrown into the water, kind of like everyone else that does this. And it's kind of hard sometimes because it's like, man, I gotta be an adult now. I gotta message SteelSeries about my contract and make sure that I'm getting this on time. And definitely getting a manager or somehow having a manager, which I used to kind of have with my old roommate. He used to stream and he would help me out with a lot of that stuff, is super, super good. Don't ever miss out on it because it's so important, because knowing that you're secure, right, is like the best feeling in the world. Knowing that you have things scheduled for you, like not literally someone has to do it for you, but just thinking like, okay, I'm going to stream for 6 hours. When I get off stream, I'll have, some time to myself, and then I've got a business meeting in 3 hours to discuss, the future games I'm going to be playing. And I think having like your future set up for you, or just you setting up yourself, but having a plan, which is the opposite of what I have, is a really good way to do it, like to just look at it.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely feel like there's a piece missing for a lot of people where they don't have somebody to bounce ideas off of. And so it can lead to some kind of stagnation in their creativity or just stress overall. Like whenever I was streaming full time, once again, like it was so stressful. I was working full time and then I was streaming full time. I was working overall probably like 90 hours a week, just coming up with ideas and streaming and everything all together. And it becomes extremely stressful. And I feel like a manager in that situation would be so lucrative. There almost needs to be like a stream school that you go to and that you can like
Honestly,
learn more about it before you delve into it.
I've had dreams about this. Like, I cannot wait for there to be a day when, like, Twitch is going to take over the government. Just wait. The gaming community is going to create its own separate thing. It's going to happen. We've got,
my
like,
God.
all the nerds and all the superpower that we need. Like, we have it all. We don't need the government. It's going to happen. Just wait. 20 years from now, a school is going to go in, and I'm going to retire, and I'm going to go teach how to be a troll in Twitch. Like, that's literally going to be my job. I'll teach you how to identify a troll. And it's really funny, though, right? Because I worked a previous job while I was streaming to get extra income, and it was an online job, and the job was moderating Facebook, Twitter, and things like that, and YouTube. And I was like, there's a job for this? I was like, what? So I look it up, and like the channels I'm monitoring have like 2,000 total subscribers. I'm like, what? Let me look at that again. Like, my YouTube channel has like 32K. This channel has 2K, and I'm getting paid $10 an hour to moderate it. I was like, what? I was like, this doesn't make any sense. And one of the courses in the PowerPoint slideshow, there was literally an entire topic, and the topic of the title was how to identify a troll. And literally, I was just like there was people, because, you know, they don't know this side of the world because they have the whole business side. They're like, what is a troll? And they're like raising their hand. They're like, I don't understand. Can you explain that again? And I'm just like, oh my God, like, what is this? So it's going to happen, man. Social media is getting up there.
Yeah. And there are companies now that are actually trying to create esports schools.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've heard of that, but that's obscene to me. I'm like, how is this a thing? People are actually going to go to school to get better at video games? Are you serious?
It's true, though, because
What?
people pay me. Think about it, right? I have had so many personal requests for up to $50 an hour to teach people how to play a specific game. I don't even advertise it. People. Okay, have you ever played like free-to-play MMORPGs?
Yeah.
All right. So you know how there's people who put in, you know, $1,500 to $2,000 a month off these video games to maintain being number one.
Mm-hmm.
Because when people need to escape from their real life, they go into an online world, and you have your own, you know, basically persona in this online world. And if you can't be the person you want to be in real life, try to be it online. And it's kind of okay. Like, it's not the solution to running away from your problems, but at least it'll make you happier, and it may be a step towards becoming more happy in real life.
Oh my gosh, you're blowing my mind right now. All I'm thinking about is like business ideas for creating opportunities for streamers and for esports people. Like, oh,
It's a thing. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
School for Hogwarts, but school for Twitch.
School for there'd be Hogwarts of Twitch. That would be insane. Oh my God. Oh. All right. So I think I'm about out of questions for you here. Is there anything else that you want to touch on? Do you want to go ahead and give a plug for yourself right now?
I mean, yeah, I can give myself a plug if my voice stops cracking.
Hey.
So, just to give you guys a little rundown of who I am again, my name is Pohx, or you could call me Mr. Pohx Kappa. You can find me on YouTube at Pohx and/or Pohx Kappa, or if you want to be super edgy, you can type in my actual domain, which is 0hxp. Nobody else knows that. It's secret, I swear. If you type it in, it actually works.
What?
You can check out my Twitter at POHXX. I couldn't do 3 X's because they said it was banned. And you can catch me live on my Twitch every day at twitch.tv/Pohx. I am a variety streamer. I can be a little rowdy at times, but I promise I'll treat you just like everyone else. Just tell me I love you, Kappa Pride, and we'll all be cool.
Yay! Thank you so much, Pohx. I really appreciate you coming
Yeah, no
on
problem.
to talk with me more about this. This was the first episode, and I feel like it went really well, actually.
Nice.
I had a lot of fun.
So
So
thank you for inviting me. I love doing stuff like this. It doesn't take up much time, and it's always just fun to talk. I
yeah,
don't know. Yeah.
yeah. Do you feel good, like being able to talk about your channel? Like,
Yeah, totally.
it's so nice.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Anyways, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, guys. This once again was the first episode of Stream Coach TV. I will be speaking with another partner every week and bringing you guys some more information and behind the scenes look at the lives of Twitch streamers. Thank you so much for listening, and see you later. Bye. Thanks for watching Stream Coach TV. See you next week. Bye.